Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, in a small cottage nestled at the edge of a village, lived a young boy named Jack with his mother. Jack wasn't like the other boys. He was a dreamer, his head always filled with tales of adventure and wonder. They were poor, their only real possession being a gentle old cow and a small vegetable garden. For years, the cow had been their lifeline, but one sad morning she simply couldn't give any more milk. With a heavy heart, Jack's mother told him, "Son, we have no choice. You must take our dear old friend to town and sell her." So Jack set off, leading the cow along the dusty road. He hadn't gone far when he met a peculiar yet friendly old man. The man's eyes twinkled with a mysterious light. "That's a fine-looking cow," the old man said, "though she looks a bit past her prime. I'll tell you what, I'll give you these magic beans in exchange for her." He held out his hand, revealing 5 colorful, shimmering beans. Jack's imagination lit up. Magic beans. He believed in them with every fiber of his being. He made the trade without a second thought. But when he returned home, his mother didn't share his excitement. "Beans. You traded our only cow for a handful of beans. Now we have nothing left." She cried, her voice filled with despair as she threw the beans out the window. Dejected but not defeated, Jack held onto his hope. That night, as he lay in bed, he thought, if they're not magical, at least we'll have something to eat when they grow. He went outside and carefully planted the beans in the soil beneath his window, whispering a little wish for them to be truly magic. The next morning, Jack woke up to an unbelievable sight. Where he had planted the beans, a colossal beanstalk now stood, its thick green vines twisting together, soaring up, 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 disappearing right through the clouds. His curiosity bubbling over, Jack knew what he had to do. He began to climb, his hands and feet finding easy holds on the sturdy stems. Higher and higher he went, until the world below was just a tiny patchwork of green and brown. Finally, he pushed through the fluffy white clouds and found himself in a completely new world. He was standing in a lush green meadow, and in the distance, a magnificent castle shimmered under the sun. As he walked toward it, a beautiful fairy appeared before him in a soft glow of light. She had a kind but serious expression. "Welcome, Jack," she said. "This castle, you see, once belonged to a brave and noble knight, but a terrible giant killed him and claimed it as his own. The knight's wife and son, who were away at the time, managed to escape." The fairy looked Jack straight in the eye. "Jack," she said gently, "that knight was your father. This castle is your birthright. You can reclaim it, but tell me, do you have the courage?" A newfound bravery swelled in Jack's chest. "I fear nothing," he heard himself reply, his voice steady and strong. "Listen carefully," the fairy instructed. "To reclaim your home, you must retrieve 2 stolen treasures from the giant: a hen that lays golden eggs, and a magical talking harp." Filled with purpose, Jack marched to the castle and knocked boldly on the enormous wooden door. It creaked open, and a giantess, the giant's wife, loomed over him. Instead of being angry, she grabbed him. "Oh, you've come at the perfect time. I need a new servant. You'll do as I say, or my husband will have you for dinner, just like the others before you. Don't worry, I'll hide you well." True to her word, she hid Jack in a dark kitchen cupboard just as the ground began to tremble. The giant had returned. Jack heard his booming voice roar, "Fee fearsome, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Whether he's alive or whether he's dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "No, no, darling," the giantess said quickly. "You just smell this amazing elephant steak I've cooked for you." She placed a massive platter of meat on the table, and the giant, appeased, began to eat. For days, Jack toiled as the giant's servant, cleaning and scrubbing, and every evening the giantess would lock him back in the cupboard for safety. One night, curiosity got the better of him. Peeking through the keyhole, Jack saw the giant with a small, plain-looking hen. To Jack's astonishment, the giant commanded, "Lay," and the hen laid a perfect, solid golden egg. The giantess soon left for her usual evening stroll, and the giant, full and content, quickly fell asleep, his snores shaking the castle walls. This was his chance. Jack crept out of the cupboard, silently snatched the hen, and sprinted back to the beanstalk. He scrambled down as fast as he could, his heart pounding with fear and excitement. A while later, a bit richer but still determined, Jack climbed the beanstalk again. The giant's wife, not being the brightest, didn't recognize him at all and simply put him back to work. That night, after she left for her walk, the giant pulled out bags of gold coins and began to count them. The monotonous clinking zuvuk made him drowsy, and soon he was fast asleep. Jack tiptoed over, quickly filled his pockets with the heavy gold coins, and made another mad dash for home. But Jack knew his quest wasn't over. He had to get the harp. He climbed the beanstalk for a third time, and for a third time the silly giantess mistook him for a new servant. Later that evening, after she'd gone for her walk, the giant brought out his most prized possession, a beautiful golden harp. "Play," he commanded, and the harp began to play the most enchanting melody, so soothing that the giant slumped over and fell into a deep sleep. This was it. Jack seized his opportunity and grabbed the harp. But this treasure was different. "Master, master, wake up. A thief is stealing me." The harp shrieked, the giant's eyes shot open. He saw Jack running with his harp and let out a furious roar. Jack flew out the door with the giant thundering right behind him. He reached the beanstalk and began to slide down, shouting, "Mother, get the axe, hurry." As soon as his feet touched the ground, his mother was there with the axe. Jack didn't hesitate. He swung the axe with all his might, hacking at the thick trunk of the beanstalk. Chop, chop, chop. With a tremendous crack, the beanstalk snapped. The giant, who was halfway down, lost his grip and came crashing to the earth with a ground-shaking thud. And that was the end of the giant. At that moment, the fairy reappeared, her smile radiant. "Jack," she said, "you have proven yourself a true son of a brave knight. It is time for you to return to your castle. This time, the fairy guided him. On their way, they stopped at the nearby village, which had long suffered under the giant's tyranny. The fairy announced to the people, "The son of the night has returned. He has slain the giant who took everything from you." The villagers cheered, their faces filled with joy and relief. They eagerly followed Jack, forming a large crowd, ready to help him reclaim his home. The giant's wife saw the stampede of angry villagers approaching the castle and, knowing she was outnumbered, fled as fast as her legs could carry her. And so, Jack and his mother moved into the castle, their home restored. They used their new fortune to help the villagers rebuild their lives, and they all lived happily and prosperously. And it all happened because, on a dusty road, a young boy was brave enough to believe in a little bit of magic. If you truly believe, sometimes the most incredible things can come true. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical adventures. See you next time.